everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my June 2025 Currently Inked with you. And I'm going to go ahead and review my supplies here. The first is this glass coffee stirring spoon. I purchased a bunch of these off of Amazon back in 2020 or 2021. So if you type in glass coffee stirring spoon, something similar should come up via Google or Amazon. And I'm using my Kinbor E5 2025 planner. I've been using this as an ink planner this year in 2025. So I'm going to be swatching the inks today. At the end, I'm going to be painting that ladybug in. So let's get started. The first ink I am using, first pen and ink combo, is the Birmingham Pen Company Tesla Coil. This was from an ink swap that Jill sent me, and I appreciate that. And I'll show you the pen in a moment. I'm just going to get started on the little ink swatch here. I'm going to do circles today because I feel like doing something different. And I just have some water on the side here to clean the ink off. And I have this inked in my Pilot Kakuno. This has a medium nib. It's one of the new ones that came out. Colorways with the gold nib. So let's start with the color and then the pen. So this is Birmingham Pen Company. I'm just going to put BBC or BPC. And this is Tesla Coil. And this is so beautiful. And it is Pilot Kakuno. And I can't remember if they put white for this or pearl. I'm not sure. I'm going to put just pearl because that's what this colorway reminds me of, kind of. And it has a medium nib. This ink is so wet. It's awesome. I love it already. So that is the first pen and ink combination. I am really enjoying my Pilot Kakunos. Ooh, that's not, oh my goodness. Well, we'll just keep on moving. That was not in focus. And I will pull the inks up closer as, you know, when we're done. And then I have larger swatches that I'll share with you guys too at the end. So the next ink is this Kobe 15, and it's in Mayako Green. I really am loving this and I'm tempted to purchase a bottle, but I wanted to ask any of you if you have tried this ink and compared it to maybe the green, the Diamine Green Umber. Anybody, please let me know in the comment section. I love Diamine inks. I love the Kobe inks as well that I've tried. But the Diamine inks are more cost effective or are cheaper. Let's just be real here. So I'm just curious if anyone's compared them and if they're similar. So I think I went out of order, but that's okay. I have this one inked in this vintage platinum pen, Platinum Mini with the tulips. I haven't used this. I purchased this is my birthday pen last year, and I haven't used this for a while. I'm hoping that um, it is, yep, awesome. It's been sitting for probably an hour. So this is Kobe 15, and it's, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Mayako Green. I missed this nib. And this is the vintage. Oh, is it Pilot or Platinum? Platinum. I love that feedback. And I believe this has a 14K nib and a fine. And it is very nice, very wet. This is more like a true green. Reminds me of like a forest green. So that is that combination. I'm hoping we were in, I'm not sure what's going on with my camera here. I'm hoping it's in focus here. So the next pen and ink combo, this is Kayo and Oto 11 in Roriro. This is a little ink sample that Elise sent to me last year, and I'm not sure why I did not sure why it took me so long, I should say, to ink this one up, because it is a beautiful purple with shimmer. There's not much sample left in here, so probably another reason, but I'm going to use it up this month for sure. And I'm so thankful that for Elise sending this to me, because I have tried light purples and dark purples, but haven't tried many purples that purple inks that are in between. And I'm seeing that this one is. I'm hoping this is all set and ready to go. I have this one in my Kaweco Sport in banana yellow. This has a broad nib on it. I'm really loving the Kaweco medium broad and double broad nibs. So this is, let me spell, I haven't tried one of this brand ink before, so so far from what I see from swatching the ink and now writing, it's a very wet and juicy ink, and I love that. Now I was curious earlier, and I pulled this ink up on Vanessa, and the swatch is totally different. It looks more like a lighter blue than this purple here. So, and this is a Kaweco Sport and Frosted Banana. That's actually what it's called. And it's writing like a dream, very smooth. And this is a broad nib. Yeah, that's awesome. And look at that shimmer. If you can't see it, I will show you after. So I'm super excited to finish this sample up. The next ink that I am using is a newer ink to my collection. It's Dominant Industries October Leaves. So we'll swatch that real quick. And I'm very excited to try this one. It's a yellow ink with red or rose gold, I'm not sure, maybe a combo shimmer. I'm hoping this ink is legible. So I ink this up in my Opus 88 Flora. This has a fine nib. And let me see if it's flowed down. Nope. This is an eyedropper pen, and I did not, I'm hoping a bunch of ink does not. Let's see if that does it to get us started. So this is Dominant Industry. Let's see if this will be legible, guys, after. Dominant, once it dries, Industry. October. Leaves. And I have this in my Opus 88 Flora. And this has a fine nib, but it writes more like a medium nib. It's coming out very wet, which I like. That's what I want. So that's already a bonus for me. Now the real test is it going to be legible as I'm writing with it? And I may come back with a progress report this month. I had stopped doing that. I had a lot going on. I haven't even recorded them in my ink journal here. So I'm hoping to get back into doing that, even if I do it for myself and share with you guys, you know, maybe next month, July. So that is that. The next pen and ink combo, we'll start with the swatching the ink, is a sample that Gail from Gail's Bookish Thing sent me sometime last year. Thank you, Gail. I am not sure why I haven't inked this up sooner. This one here, I can tell it's going to be beautiful. This is KWZ Big Muddy. I think it was a St. Louis, yeah, 2024 St. Louis Pen Show ink. Look at that. That is awesome. Last month, if you watched my Currently Inked, you saw that I had a lot of bright colors, and so I needed darker colors this month. So I have this one here inked up in another Kaweco Sport. This is the Macchiato edition color, and this has a double broad nib. So this is KWZ. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna put Big Muddy. So I love KWZ inks. They are very wet inks. So if you love extra fine pens, KWZ is an awesome ink brand to use. 2024 St. Louis Pen Show. And I wish I could get a bottle of this because I love this. This is absolutely beautiful. And this is a Kaweco Sport Macchiato. I think it has 2 C's. And this is a double broad. And I'm not going to do the X because you all can see that it's super wet, just the way it's coming out of the pen. So yeah, love it already. I'm super excited to write with that. Okay, so the next ink that I am going to be using and trying out is a newer ink. I swatched several of Birmingham Pen Company sheening inks. This is Interstellar Bronze. I have a video on that if you're interested. And I'm not sure how this one is going to fare sheen wise, because it seems super like a very bright green sheen. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to add water, which I learned from Elise had mentioned that on her channel, one of her videos. I can't remember now. Elise at Whole Latte Plans. And so I'm trying it out first. I want to try it out without adding water. And I just had to try. I had to ink this up. I didn't ink a lot up. This is another Pilot Kakuno in the clear demonstrator. This has a medium nib. So this is Birmingham Pen Company. So BBC, BPC, Interstellar, Bronze, and a Pilot Kakuno. Here, medium nib. Oh yeah, it's writing very nice, very nice. And we'll see how this dries down in a bit. All right, so I have one more pen and ink. I'm added, let's see, we're at 6, 7 this month, but I didn't add as much ink to the pens because I like using all of these up within the month. So the next pen and ink combo, this is an ink sample that Elise sent me. And it's Wilted Rose. It came from the last Diamine ink vent. And this is very similar to Opera Rose and Colorverse French Date, in my opinion. And I was going to ink up Opera Rose, Teranishi Opera Rose, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even tried the Wilted Rose sample that Elise sent me. And I had wanted to try that. I just had so much going on that I lost track of things. So I have this ink inked up in my Opus 88 Cherry Blossom with a fine nib. This is exclusive to Gold Spot pens, and I love this pen. I used it quite a bit last year in 2024. Let's see if that's enough. I typically don't post these pens, but you can. So this is Diamine. I love eyedropper pens. Wilted Rose. And it's Ink Vent, I think 2024, right? Yeah, Ink Vent 2024. Ooh, that is so pretty. And this is in my Opus 88. I'm hoping you all can see. If not, I am going to show you. Cherry Blossom. There we go. with a fine nib. And it is super juicy wet. I love diamine inks. So that is that pen and ink combination, the Opus 88 and Cherry Blossom fine nib. So while this is drying a little bit, I'm going to paint that ladybug in, and I'm going to use my 3 Oysters reddish ink. It's called Scarlet. I've had this quite a while and I haven't used it much, so I'm just gonna dip this Pentel water brush in, and I'm just gonna color that in because we are doing a currently inked video. And I figured I'd show you guys. It does not take much to paint in. I purchased the Dominant Industry ink archiving books where you can kind of keep track of your ink collection. You can swatch. I think I want a little bit darker red. Put too much water. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I know ladybugs are a little bit darker, but I wanted a little bit brighter red for the month of June. So easy peasy, guys. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment. I'm going to let these dry and I'll come back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, everyone. I've kind of rearranged. I wanted you all to be able to see my pens. Sorry about that. I had to cough. So I'm going to pull up the writing samples that I did, and we're going to look at them up close. The lighting isn't great today. It's going to be raining all day. It seems to be doing that on the weekends up here in New England. So first one we have is Birmingham Pen Company Tesla Coil in the Pilot Kakuno medium nib. Look at that swatch. And I'm trying to show you how it's coming out, the sheen there in the writing. I love it. The next one is Kobe 15 in Mako Green in my vintage platinum pen. I like that shading there. The next one is Kayo and Oto Rororo in my Kaveco Sport Frosted Banana with a broad nib. And look at that shimmer. It looks like a multi-colored shimmer. The next one is Dominant Industry October Leaves in my Opus 88 Flora with a fine nib. Look at the shading and the glitter shimmer in there. That is absolutely gorgeous. I will come back, I think, with a progress report or review of the pen and ink combos. Perhaps this one needed to go into this double broad nib. And then the next one is KWZ Big Muddy 2024 St. Louis Pen Show and the Kaveco Sport Macchiato in a double broad. I love the shimmer there. There's not too much shading, but that shimmer is absolutely beautiful, and I'm looking forward to using that one. The next one is the Birmingham Pen Company Interstellar Bronze, and I have that in my Kaveco Pilot Kakuno, in clear with a medium. This swatch compared to the swatches that I did last week when I received it, you can see the bronze color and that little bit of green sheen. And then there you go. You can see the sheen there, which is not too bad. That's why it's so important to ink up and not just rely on swatch videos on whether or not you like a pen, and I mean an ink to write with for your pen. And then the last one is this Wilted Rose. I love the shading here. And this is Diamine Wilted Rose Ink Vent 2024. And I have that in my Opus 88 Cherry Blossom with a fine nib. So I'm just going to share that real quick before I go on to the larger swatches. This kind of seeped through a couple pages. So I found out I cannot do watercolor on this paper. All right, so now to the larger swatches. So that is the Tesla coil. This is that Kayo Kobe Mako green, the October leaves. Look at that shading and shimmer. I love that. The KWZ. This is that Interstellar bronze. I wish my camera would focus better. And then this is the Wilted Rose. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. I knew this, whenever I swatched the inks, the video is a bit longer. So let me know if you enjoy this setup compared to, for example, last month's. That way I can decide, should I just stick with last month's where I'm just using the pen to show you the ink, for example, instead of actually swatching. Yeah, so all right, guys, have a great month. Thank you for watching.